Hi guys, Gareth here and welcome to this video production. Now normally when I don't upload for a while and come back with a video, I say to you guys, oh, I took a break from YouTube. I'm not going to be doing that this time. Instead I'm going to be opening up and telling you my current feelings and thoughts and what have you on YouTube. I do have with me a bottle of water, which I have obviously been drinking a lot of water over the last month. Actually, I haven't been drinking a lot of water over the last week or so for reasons, but I'll get to that momentarily. But thought I'd just wet the whistle before we carry on with this video. So yeah, I'm going to open up about some things about YouTube. So first of all, this probably goes without saying, and people have probably detected this, YouTube is no longer a primary concern for me. Years ago, I would think, live, breathe YouTube, or rather, I would think about things I could do on YouTube, things I could show off on YouTube, all this kind of stuff. And I used to, think very frequently of YouTube and how I can go about doing YouTube videos. A few things happened all at the same time. So, the first thing happened is people started demanding reviews from me. And that really, if you haven't noticed in some of the videos I've uploaded, really irked me. Because I was showing off various different things on my video, from games to DVDs to, I don't have anything that can represent tech apart from my phone, to tech, we'll just use a camcorder remote for that representation. Yeah, I would show off a myriad of things on my channel. I am a geek by nature. A geek, a nerd, a dork, whatever word you wish to use. I am one of those people. I like gaming, I like technology, I like films and TV shows and stuff like that. And I would show off a myriad of things. What would start happening is on say a tech video, me showing off a laptop or a phone or whatever it is I do in those videos, someone would say, oh, I want to see a review of this film or that film, and I'm there thinking, alright, no worries, I'll do a review of that film or what have you. I'll do a review of said film and then I'll then upload another tech video, something that's not related to reviewing films, and I get another person or even the same person pop up again and say, oh, but I want to see you review the sequel to the film. Why are you uploading this video? This video gets in the way of you doing other things. And what it felt like was people controlling my spare time, which is something I've never liked. I've said this story before, I'll say it again, but there was a period in time, about 3 years ago, I'd say, where I felt like playing games, multiplayer games, was a chore. Because I'd go to work, I'd be getting messages from various people saying, oh yeah, are we going to play X game when you get home from work? Are we going to be doing this? Blah, blah, blah. And then, 2 seconds, take another swig of water. A bit of a tickle on the back of her throat. I do apologise. So yeah, there'll be people saying, oh, we're going to play this game. I'd then play the game, and if I took a day off, say for instance if I was tired or didn't feel up to it or what have you, I would either get hounded by messages from people saying, oh, where are you, I want to play with you, or I wouldn't then be invited to follow up sessions. Basically, if I took like a couple of days off, I would no longer automatically get an invite to those games. So I do suffer from FOMO a little bit, which obviously is fear of missing out. So I would literally come home, one day from work, not receive a text message, Facebook message, or even invite on PSN, and I'll be there thinking, oh, maybe they're not playing tonight, maybe they're taking some time off, maybe this person or that person isn't playing, and then the next day I'd speak to one of them, and then they'll go, oh yeah, we played last night. I'm like, oh, where was my message? And literally it would always be, oh, you didn't come on for the last couple of days, so we didn't invite you. And the reason why I take those breaks is I don't like it when I feel like my spare time is being controlled by another person. And the same was happening with YouTube, in that by people demanding certain videos from me, saying that certain videos get in the way of this, they were controlling my spare time, although I felt they were controlling my spare time. There are a subset of YouTube, of the YouTube audience, I would say, that are entitled to an extent. And they think because you've built up an audience, you owe something to that audience. Therefore, you should treat that audience like they are kings or queens or what have you. If you haven't noticed, I think kind of differently. I'm very much in the camp of, if you enjoy my content, watch it. If you don't watch it. If you watch the first 2-3 minutes of a video and think it's not for me, move on to another video. There are plenty of videos on YouTube. The other thing I don't understand is when people try and get a specific review from a specific YouTuber, i.e. me or anybody else on this platform, and they're like, I want to hear your very specific views on this particular film, or what have you. Now, I will say on this note, I have recently dialed back watching a lot of reviews on things so it doesn't colour my opinion or mar my opinion, so my opinion is my own, which is something I have been working on for quite some time now, and it was in preparation for doing a bunch of reviews, which I'll get to that momentarily, because of course, you know, I keep saying, oh, I want to do all these reviews, and then nothing happens, which is kind of related to what I'm speaking about now. Anyway, more water. I don't understand that, because I don't understand the whole wanting a specific review from a specific person, because watching 2 or 3 reviews on a film or a show or a game, for me, gives me a round enough opinion whether I'm going to personally like that film. It's almost like some people project themselves onto other people, and if they like the film, they're like, oh yeah, I'm bound to like the film. But then you get the unfortunate thing happening where if they end up watching that film and don't like it, they take it out on the reviewer, which I've seen happen on YouTube on numerous occasions, and that I don't understand. Is they're almost like, oh, you said this film was good and I don't like it, so therefore it's your fault for recommending it to me. This is why I don't like using the word review. I tend to use the word overview or my thoughts on or anything like that, because people don't understand, a lot of people don't understand subjectivism, or don't understand that review, the word review, is a subjective term, meaning when you review something, you are giving your opinions on it, your own opinions on it. And as the saying goes, opinions are like arseholes. Everybody has one. Everyone's opinion is different. Everyone's arsehole is different. You know, there are no 2 opinions that are exactly the same. You could be twins, watch the same film and have completely different opinions of a film, because you are different people. You have different perceptions, different influences from different places. I would say it goes without saying that the word review is a subjective term, and that, you know, there have been plenty of times where someone's recommended a film to me and I'm like, oh, I enjoyed it, but not as much as that person. You know, I mean, the biggest example is The Force Awakens. I hate The Force Awakens. In fact, this may surprise a few people. I'm thinking of rewatching it soon to sort of, you know, try and discover if I can actually find something redeemable about that film. I hate The Force Awakens. I think it's a, you know, a condescending, pandering, you know, it's condescending and pandering in many ways, and I don't enjoy being patted on the head like that. And being owned by Disney now, I can see kind of why, you know, that's the thing. But for all the people that enjoyed the film, brilliant. I'm glad you enjoyed the film. Yes, there have been times in private conversations with people that I've been a bit of a jackass and turned around and said, how on earth can you like that film? Because I really don't understand how there's any redeemable feature in that film whatsoever, apart from maybe the space battles and the action scenes and the lightsaber fights, whatever. But I just, yeah, anyway, but that's me being ironic in a way. I obviously, because I have a YouTube channel, I've done reviews myself. I understand that reviews are subjective. And I would hope my audience and audiences of other YouTube channels would understand that this is the case. But it's not the case, and people still get shitty about the whole review thing. And the whole thing came together in one big ball for me, and I was just like, I'm kind of out. The only reason, I'll be honest, I did those recent reviews I did a few months back was to shut people up. I'll be honest, that's the only reason why I did it. I watched Scream 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the first series of the Scream series, and yes, I was enjoying them. I was very much enjoying them, don't get me wrong, but at the same token, I was kind of only doing it to give people reviews to shut them head up, which is why in the middle of those reviews I did a couple of vlogs or those style videos, because these are the videos I enjoy doing. Like with anything in life, once you stop enjoying it, you're not going to end up, repeating or doing that thing again, are you? Because what's the point in doing something that you don't enjoy? And I felt as if I was forcing myself to do reviews. Now, I, once again, thoroughly enjoyed the Scream films and was extremely enthusiastic about talking about those films. I can't remember the film that I watched, because back then was all a bit of a blur, to be honest with you, because I hadn't slept barely at all, being honest. But anyway, I watched another film around that time and was going to do a review on it, but didn't feel the enthusiasm I had for Scream, so I didn't end up doing that review. So that's one of the reasons why... 2 seconds. So that's one of the reasons why I sort of took a step back from YouTube, because it began to become less enjoyable. The other thing that has happened recently, within the last year, maybe less than that, is I've tried my best to be better with my money. Now, anybody who's been on my YouTube channel for a long time now knows I'm not brilliant with money. I don't mind admitting that. I've bought and sold 6 different PS4s. I've bought and sold GTA 5 6 times, give or take. There are many games, systems, what have you, I've bought and sold many times in order to facilitate me getting through a month. So I've been trying to really clamp down on frivolously, that's the word, frivolously and aimlessly spending money for no good reason. And what I was doing at one point was I was buying things just to show off on YouTube videos, not necessarily because I wanted them, because I wanted to show them off. And a lot of these sets happen to be quite expensive, because you'll often find that the more expensive sets, at least back a few years back, weren't being shown off on YouTube because people, how can I put this? People weren't doing what I was doing. I'm sure there's some people obviously out there that do what I was doing, but no one's going to spend £100+ on a box set just to show it off on a YouTube video. They're going to buy it because they want it themselves. Or, as I have often seen recently in a few YouTube videos I watched literally yesterday or the day before, is that people buy them for gifts for family or friends in their life, and then they themselves can watch and interact and do whatever they want to do with that item, because of course it's then in the household and of course both people have access to it, and then they show that off in a video because they know that the person they're giving it to is going to enjoy it, but they'll get enjoyment out of it as well. So why not spend that £100+ or whatever the dollar equivalent on that is, because you're going to enjoy it. And there have been many instances of that over the years of me doing that. In fact, as I look up there are a couple of box sets up on the top of my up on the top of my cupboard there that were solely bought in order to show off on YouTube videos, and that's kind of why I expunged my collection twice. For those of you who don't know, I've sold my entire collection twice. I've sold it once and then rebought it, and then sold it again and rebought it. And also part of that is because I was starting to be made to feel guilty for selling certain items. So I would say, you know, in a video, oh yeah, I've sold this item, or I've sold that item, or what have you, and then someone would be like, oh yeah, I want to see you show off that item again. I'm like, I don't own it. And in fact, I'd reply to some people, I don't own that set anymore. And then I'd get some sort of snarky response back. So I just stopped replying that way and stopped saying that I had sold the set, and just basically started trying to bury the fact that I'd sold the set, or make it seem as if I still had the set when I didn't have the set. Stuff like that. There have been a couple of occasions, I'll be honest, where I've said I've had a set because I intend on buying it very soon, and then maybe not ended up buying it. I don't do that very often, and I think the videos in which I've said that are now privated or deleted, or what have you. But I have on occasions sort of made it out that I had a set when I didn't have the set anymore, or you know, show or DVD or Blu-ray, whatever, because people have been, you know, how can I put this? People have been demanding, I suppose. Once again, demanding is really the thing I've got to say about that. And what I was essentially doing was I was buying these things and then finding myself short later on in the month and going, oh shit, oh crap, you know. The last few months have been real eye-openers for me. Without going into too much detail, obviously, because my own personal situation is private to me, the last few months have been extremely tight. I was actually talking to some friends the other day, and one of them sort of said, you need to be a bit more careful with your money, Gareth, because there was a few things I said, sort of thing. And I sort of said to that person sort of didn't really, but kind of hinted at the disposable income they have. And I sort of upfront told them the disposable income I have, and then everybody in the VC, the voice channel in Discord I was talking at the time, sort of said, yeah, that would be, I'd find that difficult to live on that, or to make the concessions needed to live with that, or have you. And literally the last month, or the month before, I've really tried to stop frivolous spending. You know, only buy the things that are absolutely required. I treated myself to a couple of bits. Last month I treated myself to an SD card for my Switch, all things, and a Bluetooth adapter that allows me to use my PS4 or my Xbox One controller on my Switch or my PC, which I've used quite a bit recently playing Elite Dangerous on the computer, because it also works on the PC. I didn't mention that, and it allows me to use my Xbox One or PS4 controller wirelessly on the PC, which is obviously a very nice thing. You don't have wires attached and all that kind of stuff. So that's obviously a very nice plus, that you're not tethered to anything, and you can you're a bit more freer, if you know what I mean. And yes, despite what people say, even being sat, you know, this distance like I am from the camera right now to a computer, being tethered to it by a wire, that wire gets tangled up in things or gets pulled out of the controller. Having a wireless solution is more comfortable. I'm just going to say comfortable is the word I'd use, because you don't have that wire getting snagged on things and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, so last month, although I was helped out a little bit by some people, thank you very much, I was doing very well with the amount of money I had. And again, I'm being very quiet, very, you know, obviously I'm not going to say my financial situation to people, but I was existing on under £100, shall we say. I'm going to say how much under £100 I was existing on, but I was existing on it. Then all of a sudden, I was faced with overtime, basically. And I'd planned out my month meticulously when it comes to the money I had. All of a sudden I was given overtime, and it's kind of like a catch-22, and it's like if I do the overtime, I'm going to be spending more money because I need to, you know, buy things, because I normally be working 5 hours, I'm now working 9 hours. So for the extra 4 hours, I may need some food, I may need some drink or what have you, to get me through. And so it goes from, you know, for the money I had set aside, I was going to be working 5 hours a day, you know, every day I work for the rest of the month. And now all of a sudden I'm working 9 hours. So, as you can probably imagine, my spending went up to reflect that. And what I mean by catch-22 is it's like, oh yeah, right now I know that I'm going to have to spend more money to get through. But down the road I'm going to get more money because I'm, you know, doing overtime, which is the case right now. It's payday tomorrow, and I've got a nice chunk of change in my wage packet because of overtime, essentially. So I do intend on using some of that money to treat myself, because it's been a while since I've really, you know, treated myself. The last thing I bought myself in any capacity, technically, was Resident Evil 2, and I borrowed money off someone to buy that and then paid them back afterwards, and sold God of War on the PS4 for that. So that wasn't even like me just outright buying it. I had to borrow money from somebody, and I had to, you know, and I had to sell something in order to do it. I was waving this around earlier, but this was bought for me by a very generous friend. This is the premium edition of Mortal Kombat 11. I am really enjoying this game. I haven't played the campaign yet, or the story mode, whatever you want to call it, but I'm really enjoying playing this and what have you. And I would like to also shout out some other friends that have helped me out with some gift card vouchers on the eShop, or have just helped me out in general. I should say at this point, I don't name people that help me out personally. It's not rude against them in any way, it's just that I don't want, you know, I like to keep my life private. I got burned a number of years back, and so long story short, I try and keep things private. And I have had it happen in the past where someone's helped me out, I've named them, the person's happened to know who that person is, and they've gone badgering that person, which I don't, you know, that's what I'm trying to do. I'm extremely, you know, grateful and gracious for the help I've been given. Obviously, and also the camera I'm currently talking to you guys on right now. I borrowed, you know, money off a group of friends in order to facilitate me buying, which I will be paying back at the end of next month when I got a massive amount of overtime coming, which I cannot wait for. And, you know, it's going to be quite a nice chunk of change. More than just a chunk of change, or what a cash, I suppose, is the expression I should use. But yeah, that's basically where I'm at the moment. YouTube hasn't been a primary concern for me for quite some time. There are many other factors I could talk about in this video. I probably was a bit airy-fairy and all over the place with some of the things I said in this video, but I think you get what I'm saying. Essentially, people were demanding reviews out of me and almost felt like they were controlling my spare time, and I was using money to buy things for the YouTube channel, causing me to fall short in my real life, and then causing other problems down the road. So I had to sell things and get things through, and that is never a nice thing to go through that process too often. So I hope you guys understand where I'm at. I thought I'd just do this video to be open about some of the things that have been going through my mind. Obviously I've, you know, sort of said what I've said in this video before, but maybe in a more angry aggressive way, so I thought I'd do it in a more relaxed sort of, you know, this is where I'm at, this is what's going on, you know, and you know, if I disappear for 3 months and then come back and do a video, don't think much of it, basically, because yeah, I'm basically focusing on other things. I do want to focus on YouTube more because obviously I've got this camera and what have you, but we'll see where things go. I'm on overtime for the next 4 weeks, on nights even, working. Actually, I'm not going to say when I'm working from, but I'm doing actual nights. So we'll see, you know, where I slot in different aspects of my life. I'll take another drink of water. So, if you could for me, guys, leave a like or a dislike on this video, depending on your feelings. If your feelings are more complicated, then please pop a comment down to the comment section and down below. As I do like to say, YouTube is a social media platform. Let's make it social. Let's take it back from the trolls. And if you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button. It's big, it's red, it's free. Do it. If you wish to stay up to date with what I do, then please hit the bell icon. Make sure the quotations are around it and you receive a notification to your device of choice every time I upload a video. And as always, guys, you've been a very patient and supportive audience, and until next time, please take care and enjoy the rest of your day. Ta-ra.